NEET PG isn't anywhere as tough as it is made out to be. Among the 2 lakh students, if you score a decent 5000 score, you can get all the branches in a decent area. But you are not always the smartest person in the room. That's why you need to be more strategic with your life and your work. I learned from my mistakes in NEET PG and created a perfect plan for the next 5 months. The basics? It all stays the same. Make a plan, keep your main notes ready, and start your revisions. Every platform and every teacher has its special qualities, and students should choose the one they find the easiest. I studied ophthalmology under the guidance of Dr. Ruchi ma'am, who showed me how to connect all the different topics of the same subject in a single heading. She also taught me the importance of gratitude and how to stay humble and grounded. Ankit sir taught me pharmacology and also about how to make everlasting mnemonics and beautiful notes. Those notes not only gave me distinction in the second year but also served as my stepping stone for my PG exam preparations. I learned that grace and elegance can improve the memorization even for volatile subject like pharmacology. In the last few months, I studied LRR by Dr. Deepak sir. He showed me so many gaps in my studies and taught me how to fill up those gaps in the simplest possible way. Sometimes the super complex subjects like medicine can be cracked with 1 or 2 simple words. So when you cannot understand the thing, just try and remember those keywords so that you can answer in the exams. All these amazing teachers are teaching in Prep Ladder. The best feature that I feel about this platform is the Rapid Revision series, where the faculty covers the whole subject in just 30-40 hours. With this, you can finish your missed subjects even during internship with ease. The golden egg that saved a lot of my time was LRR. This last resort revision will help you revise the large subjects like medicine and surgery with ease in less time. This is the thing that saved me at the end of my preparation where my score was stuck at 150. So do check these out. They will definitely help. So your basics are clear, your main notes are done, your revision is scheduled, and now you're going through it. What next? The next thing that comes is a grand test. The first time that you should give a grand test is as soon as possible so that you can get a baseline score of where you stand in the game. It may be less than 100, between 100 to 125 and above 125 to 150. If it is less than 100, you need to go back and revise your main notes again. You don't have a proper concept of them in the mind, and I think you need a little bit of memorization of them as well. If it is between 100 and 125, you are good to go. You just need to revise the last 5 subjects, the bottom 5 subjects that you have from the main notes. You need to memorize them, and for the rest of the subjects, you can just revise the short notes that you have made. Then come the people who have scored above 125. This is going to be a game of improving and maintaining the score. At the same time, you will have to add a lot of new information to crack that 150 ka barrier. So for you, please revise the bottom 3 subjects from the main notes, especially if one of those bottom 3 subjects is anywhere like medicine, surgery, pharma, pathomicro, physiology, anatomy, biochemistry. If these are the subjects that are in your bottom 3, you need a full main note revision of these. Other than that, you need to add all the new questions and their topics that you see either in the main notes or in the 20th book or in the revision notes, wherever you see fit. Add them at one place where you are going to revise it in the end month and the end week. So 100 below 100 is done, 100 to 150 is done, and 125 to 150 is done. If you are getting a score anywhere above 150, it's time for you to do your best to not get burnt out. Take rest, form schedules so that you can give enough time for each subject. Keep your mentality straight, keep talking to your family and your friends, don't lose connection, don't isolate yourself, keep cherishing your hobbies. You are on the right track and you need all that mental power in the exam. So make sure you remember that. It's not easy to study for 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours a day for interns. It is not at all easy to study for the same hours a day for repeaters because they have that mental burden of, yeah, I have lost once in the exam. Can I do it again? The boredom there, the pressure from the family about earning, etc. etc. So let's keep it simple. For the interns, your job during your internship posting is going to be solving questions. Make custom modules of mixed questions or the subject that you're studying right now or the subject that you're going to study ahead. It should be 25 or 50 questions. I'll prefer you doing 50 questions at a time because that way you can analyze the module better. All throughout your duty, you get a little bit of free time here and there in between sampling, during blood collection, during after rounds, or when you're taking a break for lunch. During that time, if you don't have anyone to discuss the topics with, please open that question bank and just solve those questions and read the important notes that are given in that question. the explanation of the question, the solution that you are getting. If you find something new in that solution, just screenshot it, so that at the end of the day, when you go back, you can write it down in your 20th notebook. You can revise RR, you can revise LRR if you are missing a subject, so that it will help you further gain a grip and confidence in the subject that you are missing. Afterwards, during internship, whenever you get a break of or a holiday of 1 or 2 days, your main focus should be either revising a main subject or giving a grand test. A grand test includes giving the test, analyzing the mistakes that you have done, and revising and rereading the whole questions and topics that you have mistaken from the questions. Okay, grand test revision, grand test review of the grand test, and the revision of those topics from the main notes. That's the whole thing. As for repeaters, studying again is frustrating. You are bombarded with the illusion of having a lot of time, but in reality you don't. You think you have learned all the subjects, all the main notes are in your brain, but in reality our brain just flushes them away right after the exams are gone. And gaining back the same momentum before the exams, especially when everyone else that you know, your friend circle has shortened, and most of the people are getting their PG seats and going ahead with your life, is difficult too. Staying stuck, pressure from the family, everything is going to affect your mental health, but you need to make sure that you always remember why you started the journey, why you want to do PG, why you want that particular branch or rank. It may be as a petty reason as money, it may be as great reason as serving the society. I don't care what the reason is, you should always remember the why. Starting from there, you need to revise the main notes once again, because no matter what you say, you still need a conceptual memory of everything. After revising the main notes once, you don't need to go to hundreds of different resources that are going to be bombarded to you by people like me again. So make sure you stick to the main resource, make sure you do RR, LRR for the weak subjects, and go ahead with the question bank and grand tests. You are going to make the 20th notebook, in which you are going to add all the new things that are not in your main notes, so that you can revise them again later in your exam preparations. So this is all the tips that I have for interns, for repeaters. And now पढ़ना कैसे है, how to make a schedule, it is a unique thing. What you are going to do is going to serve you the best. Just make sure you do little bit of progress every day, and make sure you track those progress with grand tests. People ask me what is the right frequency to give grand tests. Some people give grand tests every 3 days, some give grand tests every 7 days, some give grand tests every 10 days. I believe you should do and give grand tests once you are done with reviewing the grand test and revisiting all the topics that you have mistaken, and the bottom 3 to 5 subjects that you have forgotten. So that would be the right time for the grand test. It may be 5 days, it may be 7 days, it may be 10 days. How to analyze the grand test? Whatever score you are getting, you are going to fight against yourself. Okay? Two things matter, your percentile and your right answers. Whatever you do, you have to attempt at least 195 plus questions. That's a golden number. I usually attempt 198, I leave 2 questions. Afterwards, you need to analyze how much percentile you got, and how many right answers you got, and how many wrong answers you got. Skipping questions should be very, very limited. कुछ तो लॉजिक लगाना है, यूज कॉमन सेंस, यूज सम वेरी वियर्ड तुक्का, डू समथिंग बट गेट दैट आंसर डन. Afterwards, analyze the questions, analyze what mistakes you are doing. If there are mistakes like not reading the question properly, not reading the options properly, or overthinking or underthinking, and make sure you make changes in the approach to the questions and the grand test as a whole. You are surely going to lack stamina and focus when you are going to solve 200 questions of grand test, and you will think it's an absurd, weird, useless thing to do, especially because exams so dur hai. But it is important for you to gain a feeling, so that your real exams feel like mock tests. Okay? Afterwards, let's go to the main thing that I want to discuss in the video. The brain rot content. The content that you are going to consume during Instagram, YouTube shorts, anything that is less than 30 to 60 seconds is brain rot. It decreases your attention span. It makes studying, which is already boring, even more boring, and you will not be able to memorize anything because your attention span is as equivalent to or less than goldfish. It is bad to watch that brain rot content. That will make your brain even more tired, especially during study breaks. Okay, what I see usually is, even in libraries or studying alone, people just during the study break, they just open Instagram, scroll through reels. It's not a good habit. I know you get the dopamine boost, but I want you to get that dopamine after completing the subject. That is the delayed gratification that you should be chasing. It seems stupid to hear from a person who has an Instagram account, who makes YouTube shorts, but I have analyzed the algorithm, I have studied everything regarding it, and I am telling you it is a brain rot content, and you should focus on delayed gratification and reading and learning and giving time and space for yourself to grow and think and analyze and find solutions for your own. That is going to separate you from the elites of your group. So how is it going to affect you? Initially, it will not make a change. Let's just say there are 100 topics. Initially, you might just remember 50 of them. Over the course of time, with every revision, you are going to remember 70, you are going to remember 30. So every time you revise, there will be less and less topics for you to learn if you focus better. And that way, your revisions are going to be fruitful and the time is going to decrease. And that's how you do multiple revisions in less time and score better. Remember, you are already in MBBS, you have already done MBBS, so you are already better than the 90% population in the world. It may sound selfish, it may sound self-aggrandizing. I am not belittling any other student group or a course, but it is a way to feel confident about myself. I have challenged and passed a very difficult course and I am proud of it, and I am confident to believe that the next exam is going to be just as difficult, but I am capable of going through it on my own. I understand that many of you may or may not have study partners. Study partners are really a blessing if you got the right ones, but if you don't, it's alright. You can do it alone on your own. I assure you that you are not falling behind anything. Just make sure that you follow the schedule that you have created for yourself and you take adequate, proper breaks. As for the study time, the daily routine, everyone is different, everyone is unique. So if you are a night owl, if you are a daytimer, just do your thing. Okay? जब जहाँ जहाँ तुम्हें पढ़ना आता है पढ़ो. Even if you are just bathing in the bathroom, just stick a paper of like inflammatory markers of pathology and just keep on reading that. It's up to you where you want to study, where you have to study, how you study. May it be library, may it be at home, may it be anywhere. Just make sure that you study wherever you feel the easiest and most relaxed, because the peace of mind is going to affect you and your score and your studies. Lastly, the final word that I want to tell you is how mental fortitude is important for such an exam like NEET PG or INICT or FMG or any other competitive exam that you are about to give. See, the people who are in the top 5,000, 10,000 have been working hard. Okay, so what separates the person who has got 5,000 rank, who has got 500 rank, and who has got a rank of 5? 5,000 and 500 will be separated by the hard work and the hours they put in, but the 500 and rank 5 will be separated by the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions that they get right or wrong, and that will depend on the amount of attention, the brain power, and the analysis and logical thinking they use in the actual exam. So 50% of your success is going to be the hard work you do throughout the year, and the 50% will depend on the day of exam. And that is why the mental fortitude of giving the exam is so important. I want you to be mentally ready from today itself for giving this hardest exam, so that you believe it is going to be a piece of cake for you. It is your belief that matters, not the actual exam, because every game starts and ends in here. All the best. Do let me know what you want ahead in my channel. If you have any doubts, you can just message me. Thank you. See ya. All the best for your exams.